And we are live. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good morning, wherever part of the world you are. Because sometimes I am night here in Canada is exactly 8:13 in the nighttime here in Canada, and then EST time, standard time, but some part of the Canada it's like six o'clock or 5 o'clock. Yeah. So for those who are watching right now, and then if this is your first time seeing me doing this go live, so my name is Julieta from Ontario, Canada, exactly Toronto. And I am originally from Iloilo, Philippines. So sa mga kauturan ko nga mga Ilonggo nila, maayong aga sa inyo nga tanan, wherever part of the world, or maayong gabi. I know na you are Ilonggos are all over the world right now. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evenings to all of you. So if you're watching, and then you can drop your comment below, and then later on rather I'll gonna give you a shout out. So what time is in your local standard time, and then yeah. So tonight, I have a fellow business owners here to be with me tonight, and then she gonna share with us, and then she gonna share with us how she find this business. She is in fellow business owners doing this business. So she is a mother of three grown up children, and then she is a grandmother of a beautiful little girl. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, okay, here, welcome, sis Florence.
Hi.
Sis, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I am really, really good, and I am so grateful. I am honored that I interview you tonight, and then we share your journey, how this business, your reasons why you are in the business, and then your journey in. Because I know that you are just a few months in this business, but I can see the success in your journey, in your the results in your business, and knowing that you are a grandmother, but you are doing so well in this business. So yeah, so maybe you can introduce yourself first to our viewers. Who is Florence Delaney?
Well, first, thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you asking me to come on here. It's truly my pleasure. It's an honor to be able to speak, to fellow business owners and anybody out there that's watching. So thank you. I do appreciate that. So yes, I'm Florence, and I'm living in Calgary, Alberta. My husband and I are here, and we have 3 adult daughters, as Juliette mentioned, and a little granddaughter. She's about 4.5, and just amazing, absolutely amazing. And I'm actually originally from Eastern Canada, so we've been living out here for about 35 years, and I worked in the airline business. I worked in the airline business for the last 18 years, and before that, I was in floral design. I was a florist. So yeah, that's basically who I am. And I actually started the business in March of this year. So early in the year, I started, and yeah.
So we are in the business. We are together in the business already for March, for a few months, several months now, like 10 months or eight,
About 8 months, I think. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but then it's like we are barely knew each other, but we know who Florence is. I know what this she looks like, the something like that. I can see her success, but only that from Calgary, Alberta, and then I am in Toronto. So we met through online. So this is what I like about business, because you can meet a lot of people from different parts of the world with different ages, right? So yeah, so this is what I like about this business. So we have a viewer here, Sis Chantal from
Okay.
Hi, sis. Thank you so much for tuning in. So actually, she is my business partner. Yeah. So yeah. So who is Florence before doing this business?
So, like I said, I'm a mother, so definitely a mother, a grandmother, a wife. And before this business, like I mentioned, I worked in the corporate world. So, I consider myself to be a very loyal and dedicated person. I am an introvert, believe it or not. Doing lives and all of this is definitely not my cup of tea. But you know what? When you realize that you deserve a good life, and you've got a huge why, then you step outside your comfort zone. So I mean, when I worked in the corporate world, there was business meetings and stuff like that. We would run them and stuff, but I was never on the forefront. I was always behind the scenes, doing the work behind the scenes and helping people out. So this is new for me. This is totally new for me. But again, I've always been a dedicated hard worker. I knew what kind of person I was, and when I seen this business, it's my hidden gem. It's what I call it. It's my hidden gem. So yeah, I've always been working. I don't work outside the house. Basically, I found this business after being let go from my 18-year career. A big surprise to me. Just when the pandemic hit, when I was one of those many, many people that got let go. And I couldn't go back into the corporate world. I didn't have it in me to start at the bottom again. I'm in my late 50s. I have adult children, and to try to prove my worth to somebody else, it just wasn't for me anymore. I needed that control over my life and my finances and my future.
Yeah. So yeah, that is right. That if you want something to accomplish, so you have to leave your comfort zone. Because yeah, so there's nothing happen if you're gonna stay there that you said, oh, I think I am okay with like this, but in the long run you're gonna be just like that. There's nothing change gonna happen to your life. If you have a big dream in your life, you cannot get what you want, and then you cannot be satisfied. You cannot prove it to yourself that you worth something, because all of us, we were born that we have a good life, to have a better life, because all of us, we have a skill, even though we cannot what do you call this, we don't know who we are. But if you go out from your comfort zone, that is the time that you will gonna know who you are, and then what is you're capable of doing. So you have something in yourself that gonna make you success, but it's just a matter of coming out from the comfort zone, and then testing yourself what you are capable of doing, because something gonna happen by that. So I think just a little bit adding to that. So what is your biggest why in joining this business?
Financially, I lost my job, so I didn't have a job. There's no income. So again, I didn't want to go back into the corporate world. So the finances was one thing, but I really wanted time. I wanted time for me and my husband. Again, we're close to retirement. We're in our late 50s. My husband's already hit that over that 60 mark. So we want to enjoy our lives. And I have a little granddaughter. I don't want to be sitting behind a desk, and my daughters, I have a huge responsibility on my back I know they're adults, but they're still my children. And to be able to teach them and guide them and show them what I'm capable of, it in turn will lead down to generations and generations and generations. So to me, that's a huge responsibility. When you have a family, that's your number one thing, is to take care of them. And that's a big part of my why. So first, financial, my children, my family, and then I wanted the time. We love to travel. We love the outdoors. And I knew I could control my own life if I found the right avenue. And this was the right avenue. So I wanted to be able to control it myself.
Wow. So this is what this online business is. it's gonna be reaching your dreams. It's because not only because you reach at the certain point of age like 60s or even 70s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though we are rich at that age, it doesn't mean that we don't have a dream for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Even though when we say, even though you are financially safe after in your retirement age, but still we still have wanted more for our children, for our
Yes.
grandchildren. So that is the reason why we didn't stop dreaming, not even not for ourselves, is for our family. And this
Yes.
business, it's really really hit us.
Yeah.
So it's like at the age of 60, if you go back to the, if you apply, so for example, in your part, right? So yeah, you said that you are nearly 60s. So
Almost. I have a few years to go.
oh, so if you go back and then apply to the different companies, even though you were from the corporate world, do you think that those companies still gonna employ you, right? So this is not the only first time
Yes.
that I interviewed the person the age like you. So those are the reason why they switch to earning to online business, because of their age, that they are not be like they are considering that it's really hard to get employment at that age already. But then in this online business, you can manage your time, you can manage your time, wherever you want to work, and then what time do you want to work. It's
Yes.
kind of you handle your time. But when you are in the corporate world, it's really really hard to get an employment at that age. And then, like, we know already that here in Canada, or like in the northern part of the Americans, that if you are a parent, you don't want your children to shoulder you when you are at the age wherein you are not capable of doing things anymore, that you are not it seems that it's gonna be you want to be financially secure at the after the retirement, right? Because because your children, they have their own life, and then they have their own family already to support. So that is why we need to be ready to ourselves, we need to be financially ready. So yeah, and I am so happy for you that you found this business. Yeah. So my next question is within 80 or like 8 months in this business, so is there any changes in your
Oh,
life that
yes.
brought by this business?
Absolutely. Like, absolutely. It's again, it's just the, I think what's brought so much to me is just the peace of mind. I say that now because knowing that my future is taken care of, and my kids don't, like you said, I don't want my children worrying about us in our later years. That's the last thing I want to do. So knowing peace of mind that my husband and I will be financially fine, that will be taken care of. And then also knowing peace of mind that they're going to be taken care of. Again, they may have their own lives and they may have their own families, but again, they're still my children. I had them because I wanted them, and I love them dearly. And we want our children to do better than we do.
Yeah.
It's like when somebody goes to school and you have a teacher, or even in the corporate world, when you're a leader, in my mind, a leader is supposed to lift people up, to bring them up to their level and beyond. And that's what I want to do for my children. I want to bring them beyond my level. And I mean, they surpass me. And I think of whenever they were little, and, you know, again, before this business, I knew my way around a computer a little bit because I sat at a computer at my job. But if I had to download something, or if I had to take a picture, I would go ask my kids. And so they surpassed me in the technical part of things a long time ago. And I was so proud about that, because they learned, they went out and they learned for themselves. And to be able to have them surpass me and not have to work for somebody else and be able to live out their dreams, that is just peace of mind to me beyond anything that financial could ever do. So that's really the big change. And, I think another thing that I realized, we've obviously been doing these miracle mornings. It's just a little challenge for those that don't know. It's a little friendly challenge we have amongst our business partners. And that really clicks a lot with me, like just getting up and doing something and getting into the little habits or whatever, being able to help other people. I mentioned before, or I don't know if I did or not, but I was a florist before I was in the airline business. And I know this doesn't compare to life. It doesn't, but for some people, it's really important. People would come in on their wedding day and they would order their wedding flowers. And it was just an absolute wonderful feeling inside to be able to have just a little bit of something that it made me feel that I was part of their wedding day because I made those wedding bouquets. And for this to be just a little part of something, to be able to help somebody knowing that you've helped them reach their dreams and their goals and change their lives. Like that is, look, I have goosebumps right now. I do. Like, that is just amazing. So this has brought more than financial, like more than anything that you could ever imagine. So it's been a true blessing for me.
Yeah. So it's like you said that you are happy that your children learn something that they surpass what you know in life. So it's because as a parent, I think we want everything good for our children. Right. Yeah. So because I am a parent too right now, that is why I have some books that I am reading in this business. So I make it sure I bought those books. I want to collect those books and then I have to share it to him. Yes. It's going to be like a legacy for him. Mm-hmm. I don't want him. I will not force him if he is not performing well when he is in school later on. So I will not force him to get a high grades. I'm gonna teach him how to have a big dreams.
Yes.
Because that money that we're gonna leave to our children, they gonna what do you call this? They gonna vanish or they gonna spend it, and then we don't know that, and then that money gonna be gone. But if you teach the children the skills or the to find out to be responsible and then to know who they are, what are they capable of doing, so that is very, very important. And then even though you're gonna be gone someday in this world, you know that your children, they are responsible enough for their lives, that they gonna have a better life. Because what is money in this world? Money gonna be gone. But if you have the skill, if you have the dream, if you have those what do you call this? Those if you have that desire for yourself and then for your dream, and then that is very important. That is what we need in this world. Yes. Because we're gonna get to that level if we have a dream and then we have a desire. But those people who are but those money, it's gonna be gone. So so I am happy that you are nurturing your kids in that way. So I am really grateful that I am interviewing you right now, because I myself also, I pick some lesson from what you have shared tonight. Yeah. So I am really, really grateful that I know that even though that you are still new in this business, but I can see from doing the go lives, and then I can see your determination. I can see your potential in this business. So that is why I told myself I want Lady to be my guest in my interview, because I wanted her to share to the other people and to get inspired. So now that you are here with me tonight, yeah, thank you so much for that. And then, how did you find this business?
You know what? I actually, again, I wasn't looking for business. I wasn't looking for business, but when I got laid off, I thought to myself, first off, I'm never going to make the kind of money that I was in an 18-year career, in an airline business. So I made pretty good income. And
I
then
know.
I figured I'm not going to find that kind of money again. There was no jobs in the airline business, with the pandemic, everything shut down kind of deal or whatever. So I'd have to find a new career. What kind of skills would I have to need? Would I have to pay for training? I'm starting over. Am I going to be making minimum wage? Like nobody, it wasn't something I was looking for. So I started searching online. And for those that know me, I am a night owl. I'm always up at night looking at things or whatever. But I knew of somebody that was working online. I didn't know if it was the same business or not. And I just reached out to her, and it turned out to be the same business. But I didn't go in under her. I actually, previous to that, again, because I was searching online, I found an ad, and I can't remember the exact way the ad went, but I just remember it being a very direct. My sponsor is Jim. Hey, Jim, if you're watching, or my mentor is Jim. Sorry, my mentor is Jim. Hey, Jim, if you're watching. I just remember him being very direct, and I tend to be a very direct, let's get it done type of person. So there was something about him that just clicked with me, and we clicked the button, and here I am. So it was just searching online, looking for something. And I think what caught me was the fact that, I didn't need any previous training, which was great. I could get started right away and tap into a system that was already built. And I had the potential of working at home. I didn't have to be sitting behind a desk. And, obviously they talked about, making some good income as well. So all of those clicked the buttons for me. And I just thought, is it really possible, or is this too good to be true? And then when I seen the webinar, I signed up immediately. I was blown away. I knew that if there's hundreds and thousands of people out there doing this, like we just hit 100,000 people in our business community.
Yes.
If they are doing this, I think there was probably about 85,000. So 25,000 people within 8 months have joined the online business since I started. It is incredible, absolutely incredible. So I figured if they're doing it, and they're doing it, just by plugging into a system, I'm teachable, I'm coachable, I can plug in and learn. And that's exactly what I did. I didn't have to worry about any of the training. I didn't have to worry about, obviously there's personal growth. I worked in the corporate world for a long time, and, life tends to throw you curveballs and get you down. So I'm really have been working on my personal growth, and, feeling that, we all deserve to have a good life. And that's where I'm at right now. And I think that makes a huge difference in, how you have a great mindset.
Yes.
So just plugged in, and you know what? I have my 3 favorite books, probably the same as you. Most people in the business, we listen to, great motivationals and do those little habits every day. And that's how I found it, and again, I seen it. I knew it worked for other people. It would work for me if I was willing to step out and be coachable and learn. And that's basically what I'm doing. There is a great couple in our business. They actually live here in Calgary. I'm not exactly sure where, but I've heard them say many times, like, just follow the giants. And that's all I'm doing. I'm copycatting. I'm just copying off of what everybody else is doing. And it's just amazing. Like, I get so excited. I'm just so passionate about this because I know what this business does. And I know what my life is going to be like in the future. And it's there for anybody who wants it. You don't need any special skills. You just have to be coachable. So yeah, I'm rambling on here. I'm getting really excited because today's just been an amazing day. It's just amazing.
Yeah, I know how makes you excited today, and then congratulations for the result you got today. So I think you get 2 buyers today, right?
I did. So if you don't mind, I just want to shout out to Nicola. She's in Scotland, and Elaine, your life is just, your journey is just about to begin, and I'm so honored, absolutely honored and humbled to be able to help you. And the rest of the community is here as well. So just a shout out to you, and we'll get you started.
Congratulations for that. Yoo! So I am praying and then hoping that that they're gonna be successfully in this business and then woo rank up soon. Yeah, this is the rising eagle, rising eagle soon. Yeah. So last question is what message you gonna share to our viewers right now? So like there's a lot of people I know that in this following us that there's a lot they are just watching, they are just reading or listening, but they are just like skeptical or they are scared and then they are not so sure what they gonna about the decision in about this business. So it's a message for them.
Okay, I'll try to be calm about it because I get too excited. I guess the big thing I would say is it's possible. It really is possible for somebody. And again, I know many people in this business, beautiful, beautiful people that are stepping up and helping others. But for somebody, for myself, I'm in my later 50s. I've been in the corporate world. So not all jobs are terrible in the corporate world, but you get plugged into that and day after day, year after year after year, there's a lot of negative and you really tear yourself down. You really do. So it's possible. If you really want something, you can make it happen. And don't worry about not knowing everything. Nobody knows everything. We're still learning every single day. But you know what? If you really have a desire to change your life and live a life of abundance, and I'm talking abundance, then it's possible. All you have to do is, reach out to Julietta, sign up, watch the webinar. It's 90 minutes. It doesn't cost you anything. And I'm telling you, if you don't get excited about that, then call me and, call me, because there's no way you can't get excited when you watch that webinar. It's absolutely possible. So reach out. That's what I'll say.
Yeah. So thank you so much. And then you can check also Florence website. It's gonna be like it's below her screen, www.florencedelaney.com, or you can check her on Facebook, Florence Delaney. Yes. So if you search her in the Facebook, you can see her, and then reach her out about this business, and then I am really sure that she gonna help you also. So to all our viewers right now, so this is about the end of 2021, and then 2022 is gonna start soon. So it is not yet late. It is not yet advanced to start something that you can be satisfied, or you can do something to make you happy in yourself, to have more time with your family, or to have a real happiness in life. Because I know that people in this world, especially when you are working, there are two types of people who are looking for the opportunity. Number one, the people who are making good from their work, but they don't have more time with their family. Those are the people they are looking for another opportunity to balance the work and then the time for the family. And then the second one, they have more time with their family, but they don't have that much financial. Like me, when I started this business, I have more time with my family. I am not working, so that is why I wanted to supplement my family resource, because with one person working, it doesn't work in this country. So it's really, really hard. So that is why I look for something, and I am so grateful that I jumped into this business. So now I am enjoying my time with my son, and I am earning. So like sometimes when I 2 weeks ago I came home from my son's activity, and then when my husband opened the mailbox, there is an envelope that I know that my husband was so excited, because that envelope is not just a bill hydro or from the bank or whatever. It was a special envelope. I called it as a special envelope. So that is why my husband was very excited. And then we got a check coming in. So like imagine that if you are just spending time with your family, and then you are keep depositing checks in the bank. So how, if that happening to you, so how would you feel, right? So it's very very exciting. And then one thing is more time with the family is very important. So if you are still in fear, or are you are still not sure of this, so we encourage you, so just check this out, because there's nothing you lose, because you don't need to pay. This is for free. The 90-minute webinar is for free. So last message to our viewers, if you still have, or anything you can say.
I think you've said it all, really. There's really no fear. All you have to do, again, is it's possible. It doesn't cost you anything. There's no obligation. Nobody's going to be, tracking you down or anything like that. You can watch it on your own time, or you can join the live webinars. Those are phenomenal. You get, the ins and outs of the business, and then you get to hear testimonials from people all over the world where they're running their own businesses and being very, very successful at it. And it's changing their lives. So sign up for the webinar. It might be exactly what you're looking for.
So I interviewing you right now, it flashed on my mind. It refreshed in my mind the day I interviewed Deborah. She is the one. Yes, she is the one. She joined the business a few years before her retirement, and then she didn't know how about the Google. So she asked her granddaughter, "What is the Google?" So yes, she's not a computer savvy. She is not a tech savvy also, but she learned. She learned because the willingness is, she's very pumped up, and then she's very willing to learn. So that is why skill is not necessary here, because we can learn everything. We can learn the skill. We can learn, even though sometimes you don't know how to sing, right? They say that, oh, singing is a skill, but then if you want to have a good voice, you can enroll to the voice lesson, and then you can develop that, right? So that is what is in this business also. Even though you are not a computer savvy, you can learn also. A day by day, you can learn something and develop yourself. So like for now, Deborah is living in the Mexico, wherein she is enjoying her life there. So I can imagine how the over 60-year-old do that, right? But there is, as what you have said, there's nothing impossible in this business. There's a lot of possibilities. So Florence, thank you so much for being with me tonight, and thank you so much for saying yes to my invitation. You know why, Florence, when I messaged her last I think Tuesday or Monday. So she said right away, okay, let's do this. Oh my gosh. Because I think it's just a month already that I am eyeing on you to be a guest in my interview, because I can see something from you that you can share to anybody, that you can inspire people. I think you have a kind of the charisma, or I think in your personality already, that something that you can share something, and then people can learn from you. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you
so much. And I really appreciate your time tonight. So thank you so much. So what else can you say? Do you still have a message?
Well, just thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm overwhelmed by this community. I said it from the very beginning, how welcoming everybody is. And, you and I, we have no financial connections whatsoever. And to be able to come on and help a fellow person for whatever reason, it's so inspiring to be part of this. And again, the fact that lives are changing because of this business, it's just amazing. So you know what, if you're looking for, if you're looking for anything to change in your life, then step up, take a look at this business, because the community alone, you can't help but get lifted in your spirit and in your soul. It's amazing. So thank you. I'm absolutely honored to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much. And to all of our viewers, so thank you so much for tuning in, Chantal. Thank you, ladies. That was an amazing interview. Yes, of course. Okay, thank you so much, and good night, everybody. Thank you, thank you. Bye bye.